Welcome to the September 16th, 2019 Advance Report for McGowanGroup clients and NetWorthRadio.com listeners. Always a pleasure to be with you. I'm Spencer McGowan, President, McGowanGroup, your financial weatherman with your fast-paced tour of the global financial markets, dissecting the headlines that may torture you at times, and that's where we're going to begin today's broadcast. With 2019 nearly 3/4 over, hopefully you do have a plan for 2020 or 2030, and if you don't, well, get to NetWorthRadio.com, fill out your preliminary client questionnaire, and get the process started for your 1-hour brainstorming session with the team that cares at the Crescent in Dallas. All right, NetWorthRadio.com. This is the Dow for 3 years. We begin with this, and I want to cover what was going on when we hit this inflection point, and this inflection point. What do those three have in common? We had a lot of anxiety over slowing global growth and, of course, the next recession. Those headlines have proven so far to be wrong, and I'm about to give you real data that shows just how wrong these reports were and how many of those headlines were based upon premises that have proven not to be true, at least not yet. Yes, there'll be a recession. I'm going to put forth the next recession is a mild one, and part of it already began right here. The Dow, early 2018, hitting near 27,000. There it is again. And today we are just a couple hundred points away from a new all-time high in the Dow, despite the trade war recession headlines that tortured investors during these 3 times. That's why you tune to NetWorthRadio.com, because we use the real data. Look at this. What is that? Actually, that's a good graph. This is total number of people who got a job. Now, I know not all of them are happy or make as much money as they want, but it's always been true like that. And 158 million people, that's a record with distance from the 140 million that were employed back at the peak of 2007. Tragically, we lost 10 million jobs in that downturn, but not only have we gone past the 150 mark, 145, and all the way up to 158 million. Not only is it a record, it's a record with distance, and it says the recession's not here yet. In fact, that job growth has accelerated. See that? That's a little parabolic increase. Now, maybe it rolls over, but if you'll tune in weekly and subscribe to YouTube McGowan Group, we're going to cover it the first time we see a crack in the data that says there could be a problem. This is the dreaded yield curve inversion update for this week. We've got 3 numbers here. White is the 30-year yield, and it went to 2%, just below 2%, spiked up to 2.3 this week. Now, we've got the 10-year Treasury, and the Treasury, the 10-year Treasury going all the way down here, that was the inversion, and it has preceded recessions in the past. But the ECB this week, European desperation, they lower the savings rate to just 0.5% on deposits. Ouch, minus 0.5. They take your money to put it in a bank. That just doesn't even make sense. And they're going to buy $20 billion worth of relatively overpriced European bonds every month. You know why? Apparently Europe has never heard of deregulation and lower taxes. That might actually help them. But look at this. That pushed our rates down because the 10-year Treasury's there. Well, the T-bill's sitting at 1.9. Had a client in the office this week. He's like, I got a buddy, he's just buying the 10-year Treasury. I was like, well, why would you do that? 1.45% at the low, now 1.8. Why would you take that when you could just get a T-bill at 1.9 and you don't have the ability to lose 8 or 9% if the rates go back to normal where they were right here? Well, there's your interest rate update. An inversion doesn't necessarily mean a recession because one doesn't control the other. They're independent variables. We'll get to that in a future program. Whoa, what's this? That is liquid natural gas exports from the U.S. We used to not have enough gas. And
what's that?
Then the shale revolution began to explode in 2015, and just from the third quarter of 2016 through today, a seven-fold increase in the good solid U.S. liquid natural gas shipments overseas to other countries. Real cash coming into the United States and lots of natural gas flowing through those pipelines that's never flowed before. And if you own the pipeline, you get paid for every bit of gas flowing. This is a harbinger for energy infrastructure success. What we're going to do is cover it in more detail at NetWorthRadio.com. Join me each week right here and start the process at NetWorthRadio.com for your McGowan Group updated investment plan outline. I will sit down with you myself and we will map it out from now through 2030. NetWorthRadio.com. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in to our YouTube channel. I'm Spencer McGowan, President, McGowan Group, your financial weatherman. We sponsor each week NetWorthRadio.com broadcast. That has the charts and graphs, many of which you saw today. We also sponsor this YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe for fast-breaking news, an alert when we post something in a market condition that may have changed. Our goal is to help you as an investor make the right decisions at the right time. And that's part of what this YouTube channel is about, as well as NetWorthRadio.com. I am well served with a team of 10 people, including myself. And that team that cares is actually made up of people who devoted to your net profits and your success, as well as excellence in service. If you want an educational experience to follow this up, get to NetWorthRadio.com, the McGowanGroup.com. Right here, we disclose our net client experience all the way back to 2001. What that includes, the bear market cycles of 02, 08, 2018, and the recoveries through the most recent quarter. That is true education of investors and exactly how our clients have done, disclosed right here. Further disclosures, value at risk of loss. Yes, investments are going to fluctuate. That's part of the reason for this broadcast. And that can actually work to your advantage. We'll build that into your plan. So I urge you to go to NetWorthRadio.com, fill out the preliminary client questionnaire, a free 1-hour brainstorming session by phone or at the Crescent in Dallas, and we will map out a multi-year plan for you and your family that's appropriate. Just because we talk about a security on this broadcast or any securities doesn't make it a recommendation for your portfolio until you have that written plan. Thank you for tuning in today, and we'll be back next week as your financial weatherman.